retreat, a 2-day retreat to select or to come up with a way to select their presidential ticket come 2027. And you come from the DCP party. How are things looking? There's been a lot of confusion, especially with the reintroduction or apparent revival of Azimio. How is that playing into this? And do you think that right now, going into this retreat, that side of the political divide is going there a bit more divided than before?
What I can say about politics, we have a lot of unpredictability. In as much as we have a 2-day retreat, people can come to a conscience or they fail to. If they come to a conscience, there are valid reasons as to why they came to conscience. If they don't, we also have valid reasons as to why. So what was the question again?
Don't you think that going into this retreat, the united opposition is not as united? Simply because there's been a lot of confusion with the apparent revival of Azimio, and probably some of the luminaries within now this revived Azimio were also part of the united opposition. Are you saying they're in unison?
Okay, I would say they are in unison. And if they're not, before we come up with a presidential candidate, politics is a game of interest. You know that. And when people from different parties in the same alliance come together, everybody comes with an interest, and it's implied to lobby. So that unity is there. I know it is there, but we can't vouch on it as such, because we cannot have unity where everybody is putting their interest.
Do you think picking a presidential candidate from that formation will be an easy job? As you gauge the feeling right now?
As I gauge the feeling, yes, it can be. It can be, but it's still tricky.
It's more or less decided.
Yes, because everybody has to sit down and it's not like we don't have people we prefer, but we want people to come together and join a conscience and decide.
Okay.
Yes.
This Azimio thing has also caused quite some ripples within the current administration and even within ODM. Everyone has been talking about this. The president has, the ODM leadership has as well, saying it is moribund, it is dead, of course just dismissing the whole thing. Yet we've seen the kind of attacks directed towards President Uhuru Kenyatta, especially from ODM, even members of the UDA party. Don't you think that, yes, the Uhuru factor and the fact that he's even attempting to revive Azimio is a problem politically and causes some challenges to even the ruling administration right now?
We cannot undermine the influence of President Uhuru Kenyatta. He has been a president in this country, a senior political leader, he has a following. But everyone plays their game. Just they love an influence. But one thing I have a feeling is I really think Uhuru Kenyatta will come to support the government towards the end of...
Oh, so Uhuru will back Ruto?
That's my thinking.
Okay.
And just as you had indicated before, whether this united opposition will agree or not, to my thinking as well, and I want to give a prophecy here today, that we come to discuss it in the few months to come. It is a divided opposition. It's not a united opposition. And that opposition will divide into three.
That's your prophecy.
Rikiji will go with his team, Matiang'i will go with his team, and Kalonzo will go with his team. Do you know why? These people haven't been united because they want to change Kenya. They have been united because they want to fight Ruto. And their intention is not to give an alternative leadership to Kenya. The intention is to shift Ruto from power. So it also makes you not have there are people today seated somewhere and they're admiring to have a leader who can give their interests right at the government. There are people who are not interested whether you want to chase someone else or not. They want to run with you and build up the kind of leadership you have. And then lastly is, will it be easy to get a presidential candidate? No. Because there are people in that opposition who want to get a president candidate who can change Kenya. And there are people in that united opposition, or divided opposition rather, who wants to be presidential candidates because they have bigger numbers, as they say. So there are people who want to use their community numbers for personal benefit. They don't want to support who becomes the best candidate to run the government.
Yeah, and you said you're prophesying, and prophecy is a very risky thing, especially during the last 2 weeks.
Not as a war, not as a prophet. I'm not the mighty prophet, just a local prophecy.
And do you agree with his assessment? His prophecy is that Uhuru Kenyatta will eventually support William Ruto, and that he even calls that grouping divided opposition.
I'm very disappointed. I'm very disappointed in his thinking. About him prophesying that Uhuru Kenyatta is going to join their team, I totally disagree. Yes, we've seen too much drama. And my question is, if he keeps insisting, because he stresses on the fact that these are people who come together not for the purpose of coming up with meaningful leadership for the country, but rather to make sure one person stays out of power. Now, let me ask him, what is so bad about this person that a group of people have to come together and make sure that he stays off completely? What is so bad about him? Because I don't believe people sit down and decide that a good person or a resourceful person should go out. They must be a problem. Why so many people are coming together, including 90% of youths from this country, decide that a specific or a particular person is not right for office, put funds, resources together, heads together, and decide that we want him out. Yes.
All right, and it's good you mentioned the youth, because when you talk about these two formations, there's always been the question on which one of the two has been able to capture the psyche of the Kenyan youth. That no one seems to have a proper answer. Are you saying that your side of the political divide is better placed to capture that youth vote?
Let me tell you.
As it is right now, what is it that you've done to encourage them or to even attract them your way?
Let me tell you something. With the current administration, you don't need to do much as the opposition to attract people to your side.
We see the kind of rallies that the president is having when he rolls out a Nyota Fund and everything. He's getting the youth numbers wherever he goes.
He's not getting no youth numbers. Don't get it twisted. Because Nyota Fund itself is faulty. It is very faulty because not a reasonable number of youth got access to the funds. There was actually more funds that were used in launching the product, in launching the program, than funds that were used to be dispersed to the youths.
Okay.
Let me tell you something. We should not overlook the fact. Now, let me tell him that truth. He needs to sit with it. You see, June 2024, during the finance bill protest, he lost the youths. President William Ruto lost the youths. And he's trying to redeem himself, but that will not be erased. That truth needs to sit with him.
Yes, I have about 4 minutes, so yes, as you finalize it.
There's no problem in President Ruto redeeming himself. It's just a human being. You shouldn't feel bad when somebody tries to redeem himself. If by any chance I have ever wronged you and I want to correct myself, why should you feel painful? You don't want me to change and be a good person? You shouldn't. You know, the people today, if Ruto has ever done a mistake, they don't want them to change to be a good person because they want to main pass so that they get the government. And you'll never get any success even before God on selfish interest. That you rather that person you rather that person fails so that you get it. And just to give an extension about it is, if today Rikiji was in government, we do not know the kind of words we'd be using to fight Sifuna today. But anyway, that is a story for another day.
The question about the Kenyan youth, do you feel that Kenya Kwanza is in a better position to attract them?
I've said in this studio before, and I want to say it again, you only need 1,000 youths to fill the street of Nairobi and cause a drama. It does not replicate the number of youths in the country. And it doesn't mean today, because sudden demonstration has happened today, it means somebody is bad in totality. No. Let me tell you something else that I always observe from this Wamunyoro was saying. That when Wamunyoro goes to the ground, to the crowd, that is right crowd. When president goes for a crowd, it is a paid crowd. So when Ruto travels all over Kenya, he mobilizes his crowd by paying people to come to the crowd. Let me tell you the truth. People are not stupid. People are not stupid that they cannot give these feedbacks. And let me tell you.
So what is this that, apart from Nyota, what is this that this administration or the Kenya Kwanza political side is doing to attract the Kenyan youth? That's a question because it is a youth show. And we are talking about the youth vote. Fine, you may have arranged yourself, positioned yourself as a united opposition of the ruling administration. What are these two formations doing to attract the Kenyan youthful vote. Most of them have not even registered yet.
I can tell you what UDA has done, but I don't know what DCP has done.
She's here, she'll tell us.
What the government has done to attract the youth today, if they came up first with the Asla Fund. Asla Fund was a small borrowed money from 500 shillings to 150,000. You borrow, then you pay back. There are those maybe who haven't paid, whereby we know that even in a classroom, even anywhere, we have people who will do their stuff. There are people who have built up their ability to access that loan to a bigger level. And we, out of just good luck, that some of us today, maybe you need 100,000, 200,000, there are people who will think that 10,000, 5,000 is not of benefit. It is of benefit to many people at the small scale level of life. Now today, we have not a program whereby people are given between 20,000 and 50,000 to begin their business. And this first one is a grant. And I've been told now when you work on your business well, we're now coming with a second phase whereby you now take a loan to build on that business which you began. Okay. It is there are many youths who have taken over 100,000 of youths to take that money. Maybe around 50% may fail, but 50% will be successful and they will grow. You will have changed a certain group of youth as you go on changing others. Okay.